Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today, a scenario by Colonel Ilbrink, Building a Nation. It is January 1924, and the countries of Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan have unified as the newly formed nation of Osea, with Tbilisi as its capital. Fun fact, Osea is 71,850 square miles, or 186,091 square kilometers, making it slightly bigger than Syria. Osea has two large ports, one on the west side of the country, in Poti, and one on the east near Khatai. With these two ports, Osea establishes a navy consisting of two fleets, Black and Caspian. With the ability to access the ocean via the Black Sea, the Black Fleet becomes the main fleet, while the Caspian Fleet is tasked with maintaining naval superiority in the Caspian Sea to the east. You've been selected to build the Black Fleet, including the Osean Navy flagship ONS Razgriz, using older vessels from another country, as many of them are building newer, more advanced warships following the end of World War I, and have decided to sell off some of the more obsolete ships to offset part of the cost. These countries are the United States, Germany, Britain and Japan, and this will be the country that you are playing. So in my case, I'm just going to go with the United States. As you have received permission to do so, you'll be flying the flag of the country the ship was purchased from, due to the Osean flag design currently being debated by the Osean government. Which is clever, because of course there is no Osean flag in the game. However, due to the Washington Naval Treaty, you must build within the treaty's limits, and there is an issue. The ports are in the process of being transformed into naval bases, which is expensive, and Osea is currently only able to afford 12 ships per fleet. Now, Osean fishing boats have reported an Italian fleet of 15 ships in the Black Sea, eastbound toward Osea, and its main resources, oil and gold. Fearing a possible invasion, you've been ordered to take the Black Fleet, with command of the Razgriz, and send a loud and clear message to them. Thankfully enough, because of these being exported, Osea has been able to afford some of the more recent warship technology, so World War I, 1914-1918 tech has been replaced by 1923 tech. So, I get one battleship and one cruiser, battlecruiser that is, to defend Osea. The Italians come in with 2 battlecruisers, 3 heavy cruisers, 5 light cruisers and 5 destroyers. That is quite a substantial firepower. To win, I will need to sink 10 ships, including both of the battle cruisers, inside of 4 hours. Any remaining ships will be captured and used to expand your fleet, or used in the construction of new ships. My Osean fleet is going to have 12 ships, so I can have one, or must include one of each type, except for transports and torpedo boats, only one capital ship. The build of the capital ship is going to be within the guidelines of the Washington Naval Treaty, which means 35,000 tons and maximum 15-inch guns. So, 12 ships, which I can, as far as I understand it, distribute as I see fit. I don't think I'm supposed to have a battlecruiser as I'm reading this now. So, considering the threat, I'm going to go with a bit of a mixed bag. Let's say 6 destroyers, and 2 heavy cruisers and 3 lights. This way I hope to swiftly counter their destroyer and light cruiser group, and it also, in my mind at least, makes more sense. Sure, if I have 11 ships that I can pick, aside from the battleship, it would make sense to go with 11 heavy cruisers. It's the easiest thing to do, but most navies don't have 11 heavy cruisers. They have a mix of destroyers, light cruisers and heavy cruisers. In my case, I'm going to be designing the battleship, staying under 35,000 tons. Now, for those of you who are remarkably observant, and I know that some of you are, if you look at the bottom right-hand side, you're going to see that a few seconds ago there was Alpha 11, and now there's Alpha 12. That's because something went wrong during recording, and I decided to reuse the entry, the intro, but I'm going to be doing the design part all over again. Now, Alpha 12 does give you quite a few new features. It gives you a few new hulls. One of the things is, interestingly... Wait. Wait. Is this new because I don't have a gun yet? Yes. Uh-huh. Right. Well, there you go. There's a new feature of Alpha 12. I was wondering why the hell I couldn't access any of these. Well, that's because you don't have a gun yet. And because you don't have a gun, you cannot put any armament properties on. Anyway, this ship is supposed to adhere to the Washington Naval Treaty, which means we're going to have to reduce it to 35,000 tons max. What they being the devs did in their infinite wisdom is change the slider so that you now slide, or well, how should I put this? Every increment is now no longer 5 tons, but 1 ton. Because it was already so easy to work with 5,000 or with 5 tons. I don't know how they want me to get to 35,000 tons exactly. Their reasoning was it's going to make it easier to get the right distance, or to get the right length of your ship, the right displacement. But I don't see it. I really don't see it. Because it's, I don't know, it's the same length of a slider. It just has 5 times the increments. Because where you used to have 1 increment of 5, you now have apparently 5 small increments of 1. I don't see the benefit. I think it's going to make more convoluted designs, more weird displacements instead of rounding it up. So I would still very much be in favor of being able to click here and then just type 35,000 and be done with it. That would make it far easier. Now, something else that I'm looking at here is that we now have coal, semi-oil, oil 1, 2, and 3. These have more funnel capacity, less fuel stowage. Interesting. Full oil burners 1. Funnel capacity, yeah, this is fine. Boilers. Oh, and those who are interested, you can no longer use diesel-fired engines, I believe. Coal-powered diesel engines. That no longer works. That's something that they have adjusted. Now then, auxiliary 2, shafts. Let's go for shaft 2. The problem with this hull is that it is not terribly maneuverable. I was initially, when I saw the design for the scenario, thinking, you know what, this is going to be an excellent brawler of a ship. But it has a turning circle that's just shy of 1 kilometer. So having something like this try to execute a turn to evade torpedoes, let alone to try and brawl, is very difficult. Turning into a brawler is outright dangerous. It is not going to work very well for me. Now, interestingly, because it is 1923, we're going to be using these super tall cage masts. And we're using the super talls to make sure I get a nice accuracy bonus for the long range. That's a plus 25, and for this one it's a plus 45. So these things should be accurate. Now then, for the main armament. Oh, medium superimposed barbette 3. That's new. Like, I was recording this video yesterday and then something came up. This was not here. This is something new. Hold on. Okay, I have already spotted an exploit. Well, maybe not an exploit, but not something that they have really designed it as such. You can rotate barbettes all you want. And normally it's not an issue because the center point of the barbette is the axis on which it rotates. The new medium superimposed barbette 3, it has this little bar on the side, and that is the rotation point. So I can have an offset turret. Stealth 17 Industries breaking the game since the patch comes out. Why you no fit? Wait. Sit as intended. Okay, I think the game is wise to my tricks and doesn't quite appreciate it, but I think it is still amusing. Now, the main armament of this ship is currently 12 inches, which is... it's not that sizable. I am up against 2 battle cruisers. You would argue that 12-inch might be sufficient, especially when I'm firing with lyddite, but lyddite has a tendency to quite literally blow up in your face. Let's go for... Actually, if I make it super heavy shells, super heavy 12-inch shells, that might work. That way I have the punch that I would need. Yeah, this could work. Alright, let's put a large funnel down. Currently engine efficiency is 100. Let's make the thing a bit slower. Let's go down to 26 knots, because we still have to put on some secondary armament. Considering the enemy has a substantial amount of smaller ships, I'm thinking that it would be useful to have some defenses against those. 6-inch guns might be big enough. Let's pull this one a bit more to the stern. Bit less. There, 0.2. We'll balance it out with secondaries. I can put casemates on here, right? Yeah, there are some casemate slots. 7-inch here and here. And 6 doesn't fit, but 5 does. The thing is that you have to go pretty far broadside in order to make these things work. And I would not be surprised if you could not... Yeah, you cannot use this deck space here. Or the deck space... Well, actually, no, I'm mistaken. You can use it here. But you're pretty much cutting off the firing arc of this casemate. Over here, you cannot do it. This is apparently deck space that's reserved for the rotation of the 12-inch and the firepower of the 7. So that's alright. That's alright. Now then, these are Mark 4-inch guns, or Mark 4s. That's really nice. It means they have slightly less range than the Mark 3 6-inch guns. Their damage, however, is about 9 points less. Rate of fire is substantially better. I think 5-inch guns can work. And I could probably put a few more here. These guns have remarkably good firing angles. Can I put another set somewhere closer to the bow? Here, yes. That does mean that the A turret is not going to be that functional, but it will work. Hopefully enough. Now then, bulkheads to maximum. Auxiliary engine 3 to make sure that any water that gets into the hull quickly leaves the hull. Semi-auto loaders. Auto loaders not yet invented. Rangefinder. Let's go for more long-range accuracy. Stereoscopic 4. Acoustics. Some of it. Or actually no, as much as I can. Because I have that terrible turning circle, so I'm going to need all the information that I can get. All the warning that I can get. Let's go for RDF 1. This way I can also benefit from having greater communications range. And communications range means that the rest of your ships are more accurate. Okay, that leaves about 400 tons for armor. Let's put a bit more on the conning tower. Go for 13.5. Belt extended. See, I'm not terribly concerned about those battle cruisers, but you never know. Turrets to 15 inches. Secondaries to 7. Turret top to 4.5. And the deck is slightly too heavy. Okay. 15.3. 15.5. There we go. Okay, this is the battle, or this is the ship that we're going to go into battle with. The last thing I have to do is just rename her into the Razgriz. Range very short, speed 26 knots, maximum bulkheads. Pretty standard layout aside from that, and hopefully she's going to perform. Alright, here we are. It looks like the Italian Navy went with 3 turrets on the bow. That's an interesting design. Let's see what other ships I got. We haven't spotted them yet. That's actually a good development. Heavy cruisers, Pueblo and South Dakota. These things are fast. They can do 30 knots, and those 30 knots allow them to displace their 8-inch guns to anywhere where they're needed. Turning circle, not stellar. Many bulkheads, I like that bit. Natural boilers, turbines, Citadel 3 heavy shells. Okay. Now, another thing that Alpha 12 introduced is supposedly a better auto-crafted AI design. So hopefully we're going to actually see that in function today. And the AI, supposedly, is going to be more aggressive. Although, I have made that claim before, or rather, I have seen that claim made in the patch notes for it not to materialize. So this is going to be an interesting test to see if the AI actually does make for a more aggressive maneuver. These heavy cruisers have Mark III. Mark III? That's new. They have quadruple Mark III torpedo tubes with a very high torpedo visibility and a speed of 57 knots. They only have 4 ammo per launcher, aka either 1 salvo apart or 2 salvos for 1 launcher, that's it. Light cruisers, Olympia, Charleston, and Portland. Minimum bulkheads, oh dear. We got ourselves some glass cannons here. With a turning circle that's worse than my heavy cruisers. Oh no. They have fast 19-inch torpedoes. Port and starboard. Destroyers. Damn. 12 torpedo tubes. Okay, 19-inch fast torpedoes. Very visible. Reloads? Standard... No, reduced ammo for the torps. Oh, so these are one-shots. Oh, no. So I can fire 1 salvo per destroyer. Now, I know that somebody recently said, why don't you have your torpedoes active? Because more often than not, your ships go down with all their torpedoes. Yes, you're not wrong. That does happen. But in a situation like this, I really, really want to dictate when those torpedoes get launched. Alright, light cruisers, I want you in a normal formation. I want you to be following the heavies. DDs form up. We're going to turn north. Razgriz, turn north. Speed to 10 times. Let's see if we can find the enemy. They're back there somewhere. So, the Razgriz. Cage masts. It has been a while since I've used those. They look quite nice. We should do these cinematic up-close shots more often. They just have this atmospheric shot. And it's something that I don't see enough with Age of Sail. Alright. We are not here so much for the cinematics, we are here for the battle. The Olympia is going to try to follow the South Dakota. South Dakota is going to try and follow the Razgriz. Pueblo following the South Dakota. No, sorry, South Dakota is following Pueblo. Pueblo, yeah, that's it. I was trying to figure out what order my ships were operating in. Now keep in mind that radar has not been invented. This means that there is a fairly good chance that the enemy is suddenly going to pop up out of nowhere, especially the destroyers. We will not get a whole lot of warning, he says, and they get spotted at 15 kilometers away. What the hell? Oh, it's the battlecruiser. 12 14-inch guns. Okay. 1 dual 8-inch gun over there. And then 28 times 3 3-inch guns? Good God. This thing is very, very deadly to destroyers. Very deadly. So let's have our DDs hold off on attacking for now. Just make sure they all have their guns turned off. Accuracy is currently 1.8%. Which, I think for 1923, is actually not that bad. I've seen 20-inch guns at long range get a similar accuracy like this. 2.3%, very good. Razgriz is now coming under fire. Damage to the battlecruiser. Alright, DDs, what's your status? 8.5. I want to know two things. How many bulkheads do they have, and how good is their turning circle? That's the stuff that I need before I'm going to make my destroyers do an attack against the battle cruisers. Not the battleship, the battle cruisers. And meanwhile, the secondary guns are going off against... Oh, and hitting the destroyer. Whoa. They also just ran out of torpedoes. I'm not sure exactly who they're torping, but my suspicion is that it's one of the destroyers. How good is your sonar array? Hydro 3. Looks like that one destroyer is going to have issues. In my experience, the AI usually picks the closest target, so that means that the destroyers are the most likely candidate to get hit. This thing is toast. Torpedoes spotted. Yeah, definitely going for the DDs. Next target, what you think is a light cruiser. Well, it's actually not a light cruiser. That's what we call a battle cruiser with 14-inch guns. Hit. I'm really hoping that those 12-inch guns with super heavy shells can do enough damage. There's the torpedo spread. Don't fully turn into it yet. Conway range 6-4. ID 32, 92. We almost have a full identification on him. And that means I can start to plan any torpedo attack. Come on, 98. Heavy cruisers are throwing in their 8-inch guns now. Good. Battle cruiser. Vittoria. Vittoria has maximum bulkheads, a turning circle over 1 kilometer long, and she has Hydro 1. Right, but she's not alone. These light cruisers are going to be spotting the torpedoes for her. So I would need to eliminate the light cruiser first. Ignore the battle cruiser. Focus on the light cruiser. Your chance to pen me is pretty damn good. Fortunately, they don't seem to be terribly focused on me at the moment. They seem to want to try to eliminate the DDs first. That's fine. Now, I carry plenty of ammunition. So we're just going to let the secondaries of the Razgriz do their usual bidding. Torpedo spotted. Target unknown, but we're going to try and turn away. There's one here and one there. Who fires single spread torpedoes, guys? Who of you is that? Ooh, that was a big chunk. That was a 12-inch hit. Look at that hole. Whew. That was the 12-inch hole. That is well done. I think they're lucky it's above water level, although it is causing flooding. Anyway, are you guys carrying single torpedo launchers? No, you're not. You're carrying triple? It's either triples or quads. Now, the objective here is to sink 10 ships. And that way I can tell the Italian Navy who's boss. Oh, crap. We're going to have to break up this div. You there. You with them. Moffat that way. Join the Moffat. You are div 4. Hansevoort, join div 4. Razgriz hard to starboard. Heavy cruisers hard to starboard. Need to avoid these torpedoes. This light cruiser seems to have... sorry, destroyer actually seems to have taken a fair beating. The Rosolino Pilo. She doesn't carry a single launcher either. It's all triples. Damn, these guys are aggressive with the torpedoes. Calm down. Moffat, launch your torps when you still have them. There we go. Salvo away. So is this the new AI and their aggressive torpedo launch then? The Giovanni Acerbi is trying to do its level best to sink a destroyer before we murder it with secondaries. Standard complement of bulkheads, good. The Acerbi detected the torpedoes. Yeah, it's hard to miss them really. High visibility. 9-inch gun hits the DD secondary tower, causing quite a bit of damage to the Hughes. The formation got turned into a bit of a mess when I started dodging torpedoes, and didn't even dodge all of them. Oh, good grief, that heavy cruiser is going to be in rough times. At least you should be able to dodge. There goes to the Acerbi. Dodge. Oh, close enough. Focus on the Nino Bixio. Gentlemen, feel free to torpedo target heavy cruiser. Percival. Oh! That was not what I had planned for that ship. At this point, I'm not going to have any DDs soon. Just launched it already. So I think it's going to be your last. Well done to the AI for keeping me on my toes with those torpedo launchers. That is well done to them. Now, the battle cruiser and the battleship so far haven't taken any damage. I'm a bit concerned that this thing is quite a bit faster than my battleship and thereby might outrun it. Which would be, well, it'd be tricky to catch up to them. Although, it's not unusual for the AI to, for some reason or another, just push in. Really without any discernible reason. Or to all of a sudden come back. Oh shit, no. Split. Heavy cruiser joined Dakota. There. That way. This thing is remarkably tough for a ship that has no bulkheads. Okay. They have lost sight of the Olympia, the Portland, and the Charleston. Seems like all the light cruisers are so far alright. Good. Alright then, let's see if we can do some damage against the Vittoria. Oh dear. Destroy torpedo launcher. I will be looking into the patch, by the way. Maybe in a separate video, but I don't think so, because it's going to be quite a bit of ground to cover. It's mostly hulls, from what I was able to see on the patch notes. And, well, it is definitely welcome to have more hulls. I'd say we're just going to see those come up as we play more and more scenarios. Uh-oh. Giuseppe La Farina came out of nowhere and started launching torpedoes my way. Get out. What are the... Gentlemen. Not sure exactly what this division is trying to do. But it seems like they're not terribly successful at doing it. The torpedoes are causing the Farnese to turn back. Conway detected torpedoes. There. Damn, there's torpedoes all over the place. Now, how dangerous are their heavy cruisers? Good. Flooding. 9-inch guns. Minimum bulkheads. Still, that means that my light cruisers... Yeah. They're having a really rough time trying to pen those. And in a way, destroyers are no longer really a threat. Since most, if not all of them, seem to have launched their torpedoes. Right, and when you falling back, I want you falling back. The Conway doesn't have too many torpedoes left. She can still draw fire though. The Patterson still has some. Percival doesn't have any more torpedoes. Hughes might be doing something useful, and the Moffat can retreat, yes. Reason why I'm retreating ships is because it is entirely possible that Colonel Ilbrink, who created the scenario, is going to sort of recycle the ships, and thereby I benefit from having my DDs not sink. It'd be far more useful to have them survive and fight another day. Incoming shell fire on the DDs. Smoke up. I know that you're retreating, but maybe don't retreat on the exact same trail and course. There. Light cruisers are coming in aggressively. But they all pack these high visibility torpedoes. I don't like that. Can I do anything against Grifona? Oh yeah, so this range definitely. 6-inch guns only. We should be able to do at least a little bit of damage. Unless she angles away like she does. Great. Heavy cruisers. Still trying to punch some holes in some of their light cruisers and heavy cruisers. Dakota's fine. The Pueblo... not so much. And the pride of the fleet, the Razgriz, is trying to diminish the presence here of this battle cruiser, but seems to be struggling a bit. Which I'm not surprised about. That thing has maximum bulkheads and can put up a hell of a fight. The chance to pen me is low. My chance to pen them, 50-50. But should be improving as I get closer to the Vittoria. At least our accuracy is pretty good. 24%. 25. Hold on. I think that this turret... yeah. That turret's looking through my hull. Through my superstructure. That shouldn't be doing that. Let's see how we're doing here. Grifona, Farnes, Zara, they're all too heavily angled. And my smoke screen's about to run out, so all of my glass cannons are about to be exposed to some serious firepower. Because those 9-inch guns on the heavy cruisers are no joke. And they can cut through light cruisers. Bad news. Now, can I quickly get rid of this battle cruiser, please? 42% chance to pen. I need to be angled in a bit more. Ooh. That was painful. Flooding aboard the Vittoria, but damage to the Razgriz. Angle. 32. That's better. 51. I'll take it. Rudder damaged. More flooding. Angle in. 51. 28. Good. Light cruiser status. These guys have been trading fire, but I don't feel like they've contributed a whole lot. 113 damage. 4 points of damage and 56. Wow. Heavy cruiser 644 while taking no damage. Pueblo 407 while taking 2 torpedo hits for well over 1,000 points of damage. Well, at least South Dakota is doing some work. Alright. Status. 52% chance. Reverse. What are you firing? Cordite. I don't believe Cordite has a terribly high chance to spontaneously combust. So we're just going to have to keep punching holes in the side of the ship. Which we are. Look at these punch marks, these holes in the hull. More flooding. This thing might have a lot of bulkheads, but I feel like I'm causing more flooding and more flooding and more flooding. And faster than they can recoup. Oh! That's the battlecruiser experience that you know and love. Ammo detonation. Bow belt extended, and that killed it. Alright then. Over here we got the Garibaldino. And the battlecruiser is 14 clicks away. Razgriz is doing its own thing at the moment. Because I had to chase down the battlecruiser before it managed to disappear on me. Hughes, target Zara. Drop torpedoes, force those heavy cruisers to change course. And then we're gonna make our way out. There, torpedoes dropped. Damage and flooding to the Garibaldino. Zara should immediately detect the torpedoes. Hughes is detecting counters. Zara detects torpedoes. Should start turning. There she goes, turns to port. Heavy cruisers are still doing fine. Ooh. Gansevoort is not doing very well though. These things are just... I don't know, they're not getting hit by anything. It looks like the Vesuvio is coming towards the Razgriz. Which I would say is not really in the advantage of the battlecruiser. They have bigger guns, but less armor. And they have about 10,000 tons of displacement on me. So they're faster. They have more tonnage. They have bigger guns. They might, however, not be more accurate. So I would say it is very much in their best interest to keep me at bay. As opposed to what they're doing right now. Main guns on the Vesuvio. Fire and flooding on the destroyer. Good. Hughes is evacing. 6.3. Can't hit anything at that range. I believe that this is their last destroyer. Garibaldino. The Farnese. Oh, the Farnese has taken a lot of flooding. One of the 8-inch guns might have inflicted that flooding hit. I think it was the one at 4934. Mid-belt penetration. And without bulkheads, it's gonna come at a... Oh! Are you having a hustle? Jeez, there's 3 of them. Hold on a moment. 4 of them. That's a bit more than I was expecting here. We're going to turn in. And we're going to slow down a bit to ensure that my turning circle is smaller. And since these have torpedoes, which are also very visible, I hope to buy myself more time to react. Unfortunately, the heavy cruisers are also coming alongside. So Razgriz is about to get real busy. They have no ammo. No ammo. But the Garibaldino does have ammo. Focus down that destroyer. And main guns on the battlecruiser. There we go. Torpedo launched. Hard starboard turn. That torpedo is gonna hit me. Emergency reverse. Come on, all back emergency. Or did I just park myself in the way of 3 torpedoes? Oh god, I did, didn't I? Oh, this is gonna hurt like hell. I have anti-torpedo blister, but it's only tier 2. Oh. Ow, 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 ow. Jesus, that was atrocious. I'm now easy pickings for the battlecruiser. Rudder damaged. Great. Get the main guns on the Zara. Ah, destroyed a casemate gun. There goes one of my 7-inchers. There's the Garibaldino dead. Very good. Next target, Rossolino Pilo. Main guns on the Zara. Because at short range, those guns, 9-inch guns, can do quite a lot of damage. But so can my 12-inch guns. Let's load high explosive. Because I still apparently have a pretty high angle chance. Or ricochet chance. There we go. That should kill you. That amount of flooding is not... Well, let's say it's not great news for the heavy cruiser Zara. It might not kill her, though. But I believe I did blow away her secondary tower. Barbette destroyed, main gun destroyed, another main gun's been destroyed. We're gonna need to put the Razgriz back in the dockyard just to fix her up. Come on. Come on, Razgriz, keep fighting. Poor turn, don't ram me, damn it. Reload the mains. Range 200 meters. She's not flooding anymore. That was very close. Oh, they're now getting hit by friendlies. Looks like I don't need to do a whole lot of work anymore. Main guns on the Caprera. Reason? She has torpedoes. And I don't want to get hit by those. More fire. Minimum bulkheads. Let's sink that light cruiser quickly. Zara's gone. The Grifona's coming along our left side. Port side quarter. Hard to port. Incoming torpedoes. Now I can see them. But with those things being as fast as they are, I cannot properly dodge them. Even with max port rudder, I'm going to eat 2 to 3. Assumedly. I've completely lost track of what the rest of my fleet's doing. I'm getting very much consumed by this fight. Detach, I want you to fall back. I'm going to place you under AI control, which is very rare. But I need to keep a close eye on what my battleship is doing. And what I think she's doing is dying. Main guns are working on taking out the Grifona. At least that's the plan. Serious flooding. We're down to 50% buoyancy and 25% structural integrity. Come on, buddy. I know you're hurting. I know you've been heavily damaged, but we can still fight. And we will. Just get everything else out of the way. And let's see if we can then have, I don't know, maybe a heavy cruiser with a torpedo run do damage against the battle cruiser. I know it's a gamble, but if it works, it should kill the battle cruiser. Keep pushing. Ah, come on. I must have taken some serious battle damage penalties here. Yeah, damage and stability is 46% now. The Giuseppe La Farina is flooding. Should start wiping out her. 35% should start wiping out her. Jesus. Sleep deprivation is hitting my English. Hold on, can I have the main guns on the Grifona, please? I think all DDs were on fallback, right? Yeah, all DDs were retreating. The Pueblo is also retreating because she has taken quite a bit of damage and... well, they can take a hit, but not many. Razgriz, no longer flooding. Alright, keep doing damage. Keep putting pressure on them. There's also something out there that's still shelling me. Giuseppe is once again on fire. There's several fires burning on that ship now. But apparently they very quickly get put out. 21% structural integrity. Put the main guns on the Vesuvio, secondaries on the Giuseppe. And make that, just make it auto-selector. Fire high explosive at the DD, fire armor piercing at the battlecruiser. Please detonate that thing quickly. Because it will continue to do damage. And substantial amounts of it too. There. That was another 3% of my structural integrity down, and I'm flooding again. Where's my heavy cruiser? South Dakota's coming in. Let's see, you can do 30 knots. These things can do 34. You're 15 clicks out. Great. Target the Grifona. She has already taken damage. If we can knock out a few guns, that'd be great. And prepare to come alongside to do a torpedo attack. This battle is going to be really close. At least when it comes to surviving with the battleship, which I think is not going to happen. Fortunately, losing the battleship is not necessarily a mission critical component. So losing the battleship is... it's rough. And I'm probably going to regret it. But it's not the end of the scenario yet. Grifona flooding. Come on. Can you pen this thing? Yeah, but not very well. Yeah, more flooding, please. Aft would be ideal. No, you missed. South Dakota is taking on quite a bit of water, and I'm not sure... She has an anti-flood 3, so she should be able to cancel that out. Come on! Come on! Got her. Grifona is gone. Vesuvio, 14 clicks out. I think it's time to sacrifice a couple of light cruisers to the battleship, or to the battlecruiser there. Razgriz is down to 6% structural integrity, and by some miracle, the Giuseppe is still there. Don't ask me how that works. That moment that I braked, reversed engines in front of the torpedoes, that was terrible. That was really, really bad. Now, the Osean Navy is not dead yet. I just need to keep the battlecruiser out there to ensure that she takes as much punishment as possible to sort of tank for the light cruisers. Because I'm just going to either run torpedoes into the battlecruiser here, or I'm going to ram a light cruiser into it. And potentially both. South Dakota is also joining this fight. I want you guys to split. Go, go. And Portland. Oh. Portland, that way. We will get the Vesuvio. Ideally with an eruption. I mean, Vesuvio, Vesuvius, you know. But if that doesn't work, we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Ram her. Oh dear. That's no way to treat a light cruiser. Although I did say I was going to sacrifice some. So I suppose I lift up to that. 3.8. Full ahead flank. Oh! Ow. Ow, ow. 14-inch guns can cut right through this thing, can't they? Damage to the main tower. Range 2.9. I can still do 23 knots. How about you? You're doing 26. 26.8. I think it's time to torp. Although I'm getting awfully close to trying to torpedo my own ship. That's going to be uncomfortably close. How the fuck am I having this bad of a pen chance here? Just launch high explosive at it. And you are? Another light cruiser. Great. Your timing is awful. South Dakota. She did torp. Oh no, I'm gonna torp my own ship. I'm gonna torp my own ship. I'm gonna torp my own ship. Oh fuck, you also carry torps, huh? Bow launcher. Yeah, this is gonna be friendly fire. And considering that the other ships are more or less coming in one by one. Oh no, yeah, the Razgriz is gone. Not without putting up a hell of a fight though. I knew it was gonna be close, but I wasn't expecting to hit my own ship. Charleston, everybody lost Charleston. Well, let's see if that goes for the Vesuvio as well. Oh, no you're not. The issue with the light cruiser is that she only carries one torpedo. Well, one torpedo launcher. Haha, missed me. One torpedo launcher, that's all. So the amount of hurt that I can actually deliver with a torpedo launcher is fairly limited. But I have another torpedo launcher. And it's weighing about 9,800 tons. I just have to try and get the torpedo there before a 14-inch shell of high explosive rips half the bow of the ship. Like that. Because that is something that the Charleston is not going to survive. Come on. Portland. Come on. Torpid. I know you have terrible angles, but come on. One torpedo, that's all I'm asking for. Torpedo away. Ah, there's our mysterious light cruiser. Torpedo hit Vesuvio. Structural integrity down to 54%. Buoyancy dropping. But they have some pretty serious damage control. Lots of bulkheads on that ship. Oh, there's another ship. Oh. 23-4, holding. The Charleston's getting torn apart. Yeah, Charleston sinks. At this rate, I could still lose it. Or it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory. Oh, no. Yeah, that was two 14-inch shells, high explosive at short range that basically killed the ship. Extensive fire. Shit. Well, that's it then. I have a few heavy cruiser. Well, I have one heavy cruiser. All my light cruisers are gone. My battleship's gone. And ironically, all my destroyers seem to have survived. The ship classes, which is usually expendable, survived. Great. Right, well, I'm going to leave it up to Colonel Ilbrink to indicate what exactly happened. What is this going to mean for the rest of the series? I am looking forward to seeing what comes in next month. For now, guys, I hope you enjoyed the battle. Quite a long one. Interesting to have it in 1923. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for another video.